Timothy Omotoso continues in the Port Elizabeth High Court today. The criminal trial has been postponed to next week. Omotoso and his two co-accused, Zukiswa, Sitho and Lusanda Solani, are facing more than 90 sex-related and human trafficking charges. I want to bring in our reporter Anda Nqonji at the High Court in Port Elizabeth to tell us more. Anda, a very good morning to you. So just get us caught up with what has transpired so far at court.
Well, a very good morning to you. Indeed, the bail application of controversial Pastor Timothy Omotoso is indeed expected to resume once again here at the Port Elizabeth High Court. And we're expecting that, it will pick up where it left off, where State Prosecutor Ncaba began examining or questioning a witness that he brought in the dock, which is Mr. Peter Plachis, who was very adamant, even during the first application, that Omotoso should remain behind bars. He actually told the court yesterday that he had a number of reasons why he thought that it was best that he stayed behind bars, citing or stating that he did not have any permanent residential address and that their attempts to obtain one honestly failed, and also stating that he was actually in South Africa illegally, or he was illegal in South Africa, and that if he were to be released on bail, then there is a chance that he might be deported. He also gave a number of reasons, actually stating that there's a possibility that he might intimidate the witnesses, saying that something like that had happened before, where they were called and they were told that the witnesses were being intimidated, and that in another house robbery, which the house belonged to two of the witnesses, there was a shooting, and six gunshots were fired. So he has been stating passionately to the court that he does not feel comfortable, or he does not think that Omotoso should be released on bail. But we also saw a defense advocate, Terry Price, bringing to the forth another witness who took the statement, or who did the investigations, who led the investigative team during the time when they were questioning Cheryl Zondi. We saw him probe and asking her exactly how is it, or how do they go about trying to obtain statements from the witnesses, and asking whether is there any chance that there could be some details or important details that might be left out during that period, of which she answered that it was actually not possible, as they made sure that they listened carefully and that they allowed the witnesses to actually read the statements, or they would read them back to the witnesses, and then they would obtain a signature before they actually go ahead. So today we are waiting for State Prosecutor Ncaba to resume where he actually left off yesterday, where he will continue with the cross-examination, or with questioning rather, the second witness, which is Peter Plachis.
Very interesting with regards to the method being used to take down statements from witnesses. What else did this police officer say with regards to these methods?
Basically, the main thing that she was telling the court was that they're very careful when they take down statements, saying that she has been doing the same thing for nearly 30 years, or over 30 years, as she has been a police officer before, and she's been taking statements, and that the likelihood of inaccuracies are actually very little in such a situation. She did though mention that sometimes after reading back the statement to the witness, the witness would not be comfortable, would not be happy, and in an event like that, then they would try again and narrow it down. They begin with the investigations once more, and then once again try and write down or summarize what she thinks are the important elements of the investigations, or of whatever the witness is telling them, and then basically will once again expect the witness to sign. So she was actually trying to prove to the court that they try by all means to be actually accurate when taking the statements, and that it is very rare that errors are made, especially with regards to crucial elements about whatever the case is.
When we first started covering this story, we saw fervent support for Timothy Omotoso outside court. What are you witnessing there now? Is that support still as fervent, or is it waning?
Oh, well, I think we have noticed a significant decrease in terms of the supporters that come out to support Timothy Omotoso. If I may give you a picture of what is happening outside right now, even though I'm inside court, there's quite a few people who are already standing outside who are here to support Timothy Omotoso. Around this time, when, especially during when the court case first began, you would see a number of people carrying placards, singing, showing their support to Timothy Omotoso. And usually back then, by the time the wife arrives, that is Omotoso's wife arrives, there would be a lot of people waiting to greet her, but it has actually decreased. The momentum has gone down. There's a few people that actually come up, and then the momentum starts picking up as the court case continues. And of course, the other party that has been dedicatedly and diligently coming to court to show their support is the ANC Women's League, showing support to the alleged victims, and they were here yesterday actually stating also that they have tried to voice, especially with regards to the delays that have been happening in this court case, saying that this is basically secondary victimization for the alleged victims, and that they're very worried because now the plaintiffs or these victims and witnesses are becoming slowly but surely discouraged by this delay.
And keep a close eye on the story. Come back to us with any developments. We'll get you back on air to give the viewers the very latest. Anda Nqonji, live for us in Port Elizabeth. Thank you very much indeed.